Hey everybody, this is Corey with Casual EDC, and today I'm just going to be giving you my first impressions of the TRM, or Three Rivers Manufacturing Knives Shadow. This is their newest knife. It is using an Axis style lock, and it is being called the River Lock by them, fitting that it's Three Rivers Manufacturing, so they're calling it the River Lock. As I said, this is just a first impressions video for you, so nothing too detailed. I'm just going to bring you up and close so you can see the knife a little bit. 20 CV blade with this clip point, if you want to call it that. Not really sure what to call the style of blade, but have a really beautifully milled, it's starburst pattern, but I almost always think it looks like a seashell pivot, contoured G10 scales, a nicely polished and finished pivot on the other side, and a deep carry clip with recessed screws. So the Shadow, just like other TRM knives, has very thin blade stock at 0.09 inches, and it comes down to a very thin edge. This is probably just as thin as the Atom and the Neutron, so it cuts extremely well. I haven't done a whole lot of cardboard cutting with this. Come to think of it, I haven't done any cardboard cutting at all. But from everything I've heard from other reviewers so far is that the height of this flat grind is very good for getting through the cardboard. And this knife ergonomically is very comfortable. I don't get any hot spots when I'm choked up like this. The pocket clip completely misses my hand. It sits down in this area right here. So when I am gripping onto the knife, I have absolutely no hot spot from the clip at all. There's no jimping or anything on the back, which is something I like to see on knives, but in this case, because you have this very pronounced finger choil and the way that the contouring of the scales works, you are locked in. Even without a thumb up there, I still feel like I have total control of this. I can speak to the cutting ability of the blade a little bit. We have a weeping cherry tree in my front yard that is right across our front pathway to get in the house. And I literally just stood there with my Shadow and did this, just very short little wrist flicks, and ended up cutting branches that were about 1/8 of an inch thick at the most. It's nothing too crazy, but this cut right through them with very little lead up and just a very quick flick of the wrist. So very sharp out of the box, and very good, what's the word? It's geometry. That's the word. You don't know how close I was to saying geography. And every time I went to say it, I knew that was not the right word in my head, because of course it's not geography. It would have no relevance whatsoever. So blade geometry, nice and thin, cut really well, clearing those branches out. And overall, I've just been impressed so far. I was a little bit skeptical about getting a Shadow. I wasn't sure if I was going to give one a try or not, and I honestly didn't know if I was going to like it. I've had numerous Benchmades in the past. I've had the Ritter RSK made by Hogue, and I only ever have really kept one knife, being the Benchmade Bug Out here. This just with a new set of scales from Aimfront, same bug out that I've had, just switched to these forest green aluminum scales. But this was really the only knife I've kept that has an Axis lock mechanism. It used to be really appealing to me before I got into more knives and before I started finding knives like TRM and Chris Reeve and things of that nature. This was like the cream of the crop for locks and knives. Same with Spyderco, which I don't have any Spydercos in my collection now, and this is the only Benchmade that is still in the collection here. So the locking mechanism that used to do something for me really just doesn't anymore, but it's done super well on the Shadow here. You have really great access with those raised up studs that make it easy to operate one-handed if you'd like it, or I always use two, just because I feel like it's better for the knife to have equal tension on both springs. So that is the way I do it. but it's done super well. This back area has these really comfortable chamfers to it, which I'm going to bring you up here. Hopefully you can see that those are milled on an angle in there, which makes it very comfortable to hold. No 90-degree angles pretty much anywhere on this knife, which is really great. And the action, super smooth. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. So I don't have much else to say besides that this has been really great so far, and I'm really looking forward to giving this some more carry and bringing you guys a full review. Thanks so much for watching. That's going to be all from me today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.